Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and Ukraine. So I want to start this episode with an update on the real world war that's happening in Ukraine, because I got a couple of interesting stories to share. Maybe you heard some of them, maybe you didn't, but I find them really interesting. So the first thing that I want to speak about is that the Russian flagship, cruiser Moscow, has sunk. Why? Well, there are two versions of the story. The first one is that it has been hit by two Neptune-class anti-ship missiles launched by the Ukrainian armed forces, after which there was an ammunition explosion on the ship and it sank as a result of that. The Russian version is that there was a naturally occurring explosion of ammunition on the ship, after which it has sank. So, you be the judges of what happened. I find it really interesting that a flagship of the Russian Black Sea Navy would sink after an explosion of its own ammunition without any Ukrainian involvement. But what's really interesting about this is that this was 2 days after Ukraine has introduced a new stamp, which is telling the Russian cruiser Moscow to go where it has just went. So basically that is a really big chunk of irony for Russia, and why this is really a huge win for Ukraine is the fact that this cruiser, the Russian cruiser, was not only a flagship, but it was a very expensive ship. If I'm not mistaken, and I recall it correctly, the estimates about the cost was somewhere around like 800 million American dollars, 850 million American dollars. So this is a really big loss for Russia, and it is probably the most expensive piece of equipment that they have lost during this conflict so far. So that was the first thing that I wanted to mention. Second one is downright funny, because Czech Republic, as you know, has been very active in sending reinforcements to Ukraine. We have been sending weapons, equipment, money, whatever Ukraine asks for. And recently we sent out some heavy equipment, including the Czech modernized tanks T-72, which have been in service here. And together with that, we sent some Grad rocket artillery and some Dana self-propelled artillery. And as a result of that, Russia has sent us a diplomatic note telling Czech Republic that it is forbidden from trading any Soviet-era equipment or any equipment based on the Soviet-era technologies with third world countries. Now, this is really unbelievable. But what I really found funny was that the Czech Minister of Foreign Affairs has been asked on Twitter if we can't reply to Russia in the same way that the Ukrainian Tuzla Island soldiers replied to the Russian demands to stand down. And he said, and I quote, "I could, but we are trying to save some paper on the ministry." So, yeah, that really made me chuckle, because it just shows the ridiculousness of the entire situation. As Russia, an independent country, is forbidding Czech Republic, an independent country, from exporting some weapons into another independent country, while Russia, an independent country, is invading that country. It's coming at the same time that Russia has actually told United States and other countries, including Czech Republic, that their exports into Ukraine are actually making the conflict much worse, and they are leading to escalation of the fighting. Well, no kidding, they're using those weapons to fight you, because you are invading that country. It's utter ridiculousness. If you think about it, it's just amazing, the arrogance and insanity of the people that are sending these messages to Europe and United States. I'm shocked and appalled, but on the other hand, it's kind of funny to see the reactions of the countries. Like, duh, we're sending the weapons there to stop you. Jesus, you can't even think about this seriously because it's so ridiculous and downright retarded. It's just, who could have sent those messages? I don't know how they're thinking about that in Moscow, but it just shows their mindset that this is something that like they expect someone to take this serious. I don't know. Well, and the last thing that I wanted to mention was that today I was driving across the country with my girlfriend, and we were listening to the radio. And a thing that I was hearing a lot about in the past few days came up again, and that's the fact that Russian forces have been digging out and camping in the Red Forest, which, if you don't know, is a forest right next to the Chernobyl power plant. Now, Russia has taken this power plant temporarily, and while they did, they sent their forces traveling across or even downright camping and digging trenches in the Red Forest. Now, if you don't know anything about the Red Forest, this forest is right next to the Chernobyl plant, and when the meltdown occurred, that huge radioactive cloud that was released traveled across this forest, killing everything. And while it was dying, it all turned red and had all sorts of funny side effects, like the trees were literally glowing during the night with all the radiation that was in the forest. And 30 years later or so, Russian forces come in and they start digging in this forest. Like literally taking that radioactive ground, throwing it in the air, spilling that. I don't even know if I should continue because it's so ridiculous what they're doing. And there's been many talks about how horrifying that must be for these people that were there when they found out what they did, because any entrance into this forest is forbidden because it's full of radioactivity. And I'm not blaming the soldiers themselves because they had no idea. Most of them were born after the Chernobyl disaster has occurred, so they couldn't know. But the fact that their leaders, their commanders, their generals actually sent them there just shows you what kind of people are leading the Russian army. They have absolutely no, I don't even want to say like no concern. They just don't care at all about their own soldiers. So how could they care about anything they do in Ukraine? It's beyond bizarre. And, this goes without saying that they had absolutely no protective gear while they were in there. That's just... I think that there was some quotes from the Ukrainian I forgot what the name was, but there's a person in Ukraine that is actually in charge of this area, and he said that all of these guys are pretty much dead because they were exposed to so much radiation that they are pretty much absolutely guaranteed to get cancer and all kinds of sickness from this. So yeah, it's just bizarre. Anyway, those are the few things that I wanted to talk about before we start the game. And now, where have we left off? So we have finished the next phase of the army reform. You can see that our forces are pretty much full at this point. We got one heavy army here, which has 16 divisions. We still need to put in extra ones, though I think we might have... Nope, okay, so we still need 2 divisions for this this heavy army. I haven't really decided what they will be yet, but considering it is a heavy army, it's either going to be the mechanized brigade or a tank brigade, or, tanková brigáda or mechanizovaná brigáda, as we have the templates named. We have 3 motor-mechanized armies, which are ready to do what we want them to do. And we have a couple of special forces units that are in Iran right now. And I'm going to speak about the Iranian situation in just a bit. But what we need to do before we continue with the expansion of our army is further increase the amount of utility vehicles that we have. We actually got all of our main battle tanks upgraded, so that is good. We're now producing them in reserve. I'm gonna let that run for a couple more weeks until we get... This is the last one? Yeah, until we get this new helicopter, because we want to start producing that for our heavy air... wait, what is it? Air cavalry? I always forget that term because it's so interesting. Okay, they call it armored air assault infantry, but I know that they're sometimes called air cavalry. So until we get that that helicopter, then we're gonna cut heavily on these factories, probably down to 4. Yeah, down to 4. That seems better because that will still produce over 2 per day. And 3 factories are going to be devoted to that production. We're also quite far away from having all of the IFVs upgraded and also the APCs, but we'll work on that. I already scheduled more factories for our interceptor aircraft and for our small arms because we need more of those. We're pretty good on weapons, though these upgrades are making a big difference. And the recon tanks, yeah, we are having trouble with this. Now, I loaded the game as, I had a day or 2 worth of break between episodes. I think 2 days. Yeah, I recorded 2 days ago. And I noticed that there are some changes that we haven't really looked into. Now, we can actually stop taking exports from China. So I'm going to do that. And we are going to start taking exports from United States of Europe. We can also start taking some technology metals from United States of Europe. So I'm going to do that instead of the ones that are coming from China. And steel, we can also kill that and start getting them from United States of Europe. And precious metals? Okay, well, South Africa, we're trying to improve... We're supposed to get 24. So let's get 8 from you, 8 from Europe, and 8 from Australia. So that's a big change of our trade, but I think it's going to be worth it because we'll diversify a bit more. And we got some operatives working in the United States. One is working in South Africa, and you are working in Australia. Now, the 4th guy is trying to build that... network in Russia, but I still don't think it's gonna tell us much. Yeah, we're getting 2% from intelligence network, so we're gonna upgrade it to like 6. And I don't really think that's gonna tell us anything else. At 50. Supply routes on map. Yeah, let's pull him out and actually put him on trade influence. So Brussels. Oh, actually, yeah, the capital's in Berlin because Germans unified Europe. Okay. So cool. And the Iranian volunteers. So I had a comment on my previous video from my friend who kind of roughly attacked me regarding our involvement in the conflict. Now, I'm going to say this. In the real world, I support Kurds very, very much. And I really think that they should have their own state. And I really think that if it's at all possible, they should be given the rights that they deserve, especially because of their involvement in their fight against ISIS. They really bled for getting that chance, which they didn't, and that is sad. But in the game, Iran in this conflict is actually a Western outlook country, so they are very much close to us. So the situation here is much different. Iran is a country that is of the Western type, while Kurdistan has an emerging outlook, which I consider the worst outlook in the game, second only to the Salafist regimes. So we are helping an ally. This is in nowhere comparable to the situation in our actual world. well, Iran is as far as you can get from a Western. Well, that's a lie. There are many worse countries than Iran, but they have been certainly doing their whole. They have been doing a lot of stuff that makes them deserving of the punishments that they are getting. Okay, so now our units are. Okay, is this 2? No, that is 1. Is it? No, I actually want to see... Ah, okay, wait. Our units are not there. Where's the other forces? Ah, okay, you guys are here. Oh, okay, so this is part of Iraq. God damn it, I am so confused. And you are not connected to this at all. Okay, so that's the problem. That is the problem. I have actually made this wrong. Okay, so 4 divisions will go there, and you will plan the attack on this. Okay, and once you're done, you're gonna launch that attack. So again, while I have the utmost respect for Kurds and for their suffering in history, I do not see this as a similar situation in the game where, everything is going a bit differently. Okay, so as you see, I have unpaused the game. We can continue looking at what is happening. And I still don't know what that red symbol was. It that it's not in supply? I can see that on a couple of units here and there. It's a bit weird. Okay, so they're actually trying to attack Erbil at this point. So we're gonna wait, just, work on the plan. And then we are going to... Okay. Well, they're trying to execute their plan, but it's not really working. So let us prepare. Is it inferior enemy? It is. Okay. So once they're going to stop their attack, we are going to launch it. I want us to lead this attack, not be second to their general. Though that doesn't really come from... if they join us, then I'll be fine, but I still want us to launch the attack independently from them. Ah, here we go. Okay, so what do we have here? We're leading the attack. Damn, they got a lot of good defensive positions here. They can't pierce us, that's good. Terrain is making it super hard for us to fight. But we're doing kind of good. Oh, okay. So the problem here is the combat with. Okay, that's strictly because you guys are not fighting there. Why? Or are you? You are. So getting 40? With 80. Why is there 80 written here, but we get 96 plus 42? That doesn't make any sense. Well, I'll leave you to it. You can keep fighting and gaining experience. That was really, really weird. Let's look at Libya and spread our influence. Actually, I wanted to do what someone suggested in the comments. We could target other influence, but in no way would that probably help us. We're actually getting quite a negative relations from these. I'm not... Does this lower... Well, we can try it. Did that increase our influence? I have a feeling it might have. Wait, target Tunisia, it lowers them by 10. It lowers us by 1. And that did nothing. Okay, well, never mind. It did something and lowered their influence there, so that is good. As long as it's not making us weaker, I'm fine with it. I know the logic behind it is a bit that if you hurt them, you should get more influence yourself, but I'm not sure if it's that easy to work out. It's a bit strange. The mechanism is a bit strange. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not. Now the construction is going independent of our input. We finished a civilian factory just a few days ago, I believe. Or was it a military? It was a civilian one. Okay. And how's the trade? It's not great. So you guys are actually supplying what you promised. The United States are the one that are a bit short. Argentina is just... This is a bit wasteful, quite honestly. We're still missing 19. Jesus. Yeah, it's hurting us. It's hurting even the tank production. 7 more units. Jesus, what do the helicopters need? Okay, they need 1. Do tanks need more? They need more. Okay, so we're gonna lower our demand by a bit on that. Let's these more industrial complexes, we can pay for that. And let's expand our operations. I mean, we have a bit of a chance to gain something from that. It would be good if it was technology models, though I'm not hopeful. Not hopeful. I wish we could really get with export. China could provide us with 7. Okay, let's go back to getting more from China. Even though it's not good. It's just... I hate supporting China in any way. That country is just the bane of everyone's existence, but okay. Okay, you guys gained a bunch of experience. The fact that there's no supply here, though, is really painful. Yeah, see this one. I'm not sure what it means. Is it because there is some problem with supply or something? It doesn't really show here anything. I don't know if it's not just a glitch in the visuals. Not sure really what it means. Oh, come on. And of course our agent was captured. What did we expect? And he was captured in Europe. Of all the countries, he was captured in Europe. With 270 days to save the poor guy. Wait, no, he was captured in Australia. Okay, so you're done in there. Which one does that bonus to operations? Boost any rescue agent cost, rescue agent... Oh, I'm supposed to stop this. Okay, rescue agent cost, so you will go and build the Intel network in Australia, and then we can rescue him. And what was that? Did we get... No, we didn't get any division deployed, so why did you play that sound like we did? Considering the future of our heavy army, it might be a good idea to actually put some of these tanks into more tank brigades. 23. What do you need? Actually, I can just check like this. That's faster. So how many tanks do you need? 210. So we would both get almost maxed at T-84s. Armored personnel carrier. Okay, so let's get 2 more tank divisions. And let's put you in Chernihiv. Okay, that should put us back into, needing to upgrade. No, wait, it doesn't. stockpiled. It's weird. Huh. Okay, we finished technology called multiple round simultaneous impact 2. Oh, that's the artillery one. Okay. An upgraded process with higher end components allowing for simultaneous engagement of enemy targets. So heart attack increased by 5%. And these ones would be nice, but they are way ahead of time. Bohdana. Okay, so that's not interesting for now. Nothing here either. I think we're done here with the exception of special forces. Helicopters we're working on. Oh yes, we can get this one. Second generation stuff. Air defense and production cost increased. But yeah, air defense extra. Let's do that. Because that is actually pretty good for us. We already boosted air defense, so the extra production cost won't be such a big issue, but it's going to help us quite dramatically. So you got all of the ones are T-84 uploads. Quds 3. We had some what? We had some Iranian tanks. What? I had no idea. Really? How's the fight going here? Okay, you guys dropped out from it again. But if we keep attacking them, there might be a chance they will start suffering. Though their average organization and average strength is pretty high. Yeah, and they are limited now to on a handful of forces, it seems. Wait, no, this is... What is this? Oh, that's yeah, that's the Iraqi state owner is Iraq. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain this. This is one part of Iraq with the emerging outlook and is being attacked by the Western guys, or the guys with Western outlook. So again, our goal should be to help the Western outlook countries to get better. Okay, and you know what? You guys can go and be your separate thing because you need to drill. So let's have you drilling. Yeah, I really need to figure out what this is. Is it just a... If anyone knows, please tell me in the comments. Is this just a visual glitch or does that actually mean something? Because I'm really not sure if that is supposed to tell me something or not. But I see it here and there on our and on enemy units, and I'm not sure what that should mean. Okay, one of their units is getting really heavily disorganized, and I think that as they cannot retreat anywhere, if we could just continue with the attack, either us or the Iranian forces, it could lead to them being eliminated, which would benefit everyone. Yeah, they continue to put on the stress on them, so that's really good. That is really good. Construction continuing, good. Have we actually finished another factory? We did, okay. No, wait, we had that. So we probably didn't. Never mind. But it's going well. And how's the Russian situation? Because they had 13.8. Yeah, their interest rate is increasing, so they are spiraling into a debt crisis. And if they continue with that, they will enter into a bankruptcy which can tear them to pieces or start a civil war. And if that happens, we are going to be ready. We are going to be ready. Okay, we have 105 arm experience. Is there anything that we might want to do? I still have an eye on you. I'm not sure what we could do with you, because everything I do is going to just slow you down. At this point, you are super super fast, with a heavy hard attack, a nice defense, pretty good breakthrough. But the max speed is just amazing. I can hardly imagine producing 600 helicopters. Though I think we already spoke about that they are about as expensive as the tank. The tank costs 21. No, about twice. So we can get to about 2 per day. That would be a year. It's gonna be rough. It is gonna be rough. But that is just like an addition to our forces. It's not a requirement, because we plan to do more motor-mechanized armies if possible. But for that we need these guys. But we're producing like 14, almost 15 per day. So this horrible number of 1880 is actually not that bad. It can be changed soon to a positive number. Yeah, Ambo is holding. Ambo is holding, and I don't think there is a way from here to here. I'm actually thinking of involving one of these units in the fight just so we can see. Okay, yeah, these guys are having a bad time. So are the other ones, so eventually we are going to eliminate them. Once one of them falls, they will be that much weaker, then another one will fall even faster for one, and then another one. So it's just a matter of time before we get Erbil. And our Lieutenant General is participating in that. And he got a bit of experience from that. He's a ranger, so that's also pretty good. Good. So I think on that note, I'm gonna end the episode here. We are advancing into Erbil. That is good. We have reorganized our international trade to not a great alternative, but an alternative nonetheless. And where are you? 10%. Okay, so we need about 20 more before we can save our poor agent. But we're inching closer. Every day, inching closer to being able to take on Russia on one-on-one fight. Yeah, look at that. Their interest rate is just skyrocketing. I mean, they're definitely on the way to breaking up, as we have seen in many other cases. Though I don't know what the trigger is. I think it says here. Okay, so if our interest rate is higher than 25%, we can't actively borrow money. And okay, interest rate above 10% will give access to emergency decisions. After interest rates is about 15%, our economy will begin to slow down and we will suffer from other adverse effects. And at this point we will have an ability to default on our debt. If our interest on debt exceeds our gross income, our nation will collapse. If our interest on debt exceeds our gross income, so for example, for us that would mean, just to put it into perspective, our gross income is 15.90. Okay, so 16 billion per week, and our debt is 61. So that's kind of hard to imagine. But I think it could be, well, I guess we couldn't really calculate that easily. But if they are paying 65.33 billion as a debt, wait, can we see it on the Intel ledger somewhere? Nope, I don't think so. Well, but yeah, they are spiraling out of control, which could be good for us.